Anyway, I apologize about last week with all the technical issues we had. Never had that happen before. So anyway, I want to start off talking first of all about um, um, setting up the leasing to buy email. Then we'll get into the step-by-step lease options, mail out video, etc. So first things first, let's talk about setting up the email in the webmail. So hold on just 1 second here. I'm going to share my screen with you here. Just 1 second. This is what was not working last week, and I had to get this fixed. So here we go. All right. On your leasing to buy email, your leasing to buy email is a webmail based system. Don't worry about that too much, but it's a web-based system. So you can go to webmail, which I never use. I almost never use the webmail way to get to it. But you go to mail.leasingtobuy.com. You don't put www, whatever. You just go to mail.leasingtobuy.com, and it'll pop up and it'll say, click on webmail. Click on webmail. What's your email address? Your email address and password. All this has already been set up for you. I don't use that. Okay, I don't use that. I have on occasion, but I have it set up through my Mac Mail, which I'll show you in just a second here. So again, it's a webmail based system, okay? So you can go to mail.leasingtobuy.com, enter your LTB email address and password that Kathy sent you, and now you're logged into the webmail portal. The problem with that is, well, a couple of different problems. It's just not a clean web. It's nowhere near as clean as just using Outlook or Outlook Express or Mac Mail. So I almost never use it. Plus, I have seen that when you reply to an email, it may show like HTML coding or whatever. So I prefer setting up the email on your computer with Outlook or Mac Mail. Okay, which let me stop this for just where am I here? Let me pull this up just 1 second. Let me stop sharing here for just a second. Let me okay. All right. Let me pull this. Let me pull this back up. Because this came up during the class when I was there for a couple of days. People were saying, "Well, how do you check your email? How does this work?" It seems like we're in a time where everybody uses Yahoo or Gmail, and to use Yahoo or Gmail, it seems like you have to log in. I never have to log in. Where's my phone? I never have to log in to check my email. You're looking at my screen right now. This is my email. This is my leasing to buy email. You can see right there, leasing to buy. Everything is set up through Mac Mail because I use Mac. If I used Outlook Express, it'd be the same thing. It's always going. I never have to log in. So, which I'll talk to you about here in just a second. It's on my phone as well. So if I go into my phone, I don't know if y'all can see this or not. If I go into my phone, I click on my iPhone. It's already set up for leasing to buy email. So I just click on a button, boom, there's my email. So I don't have to log into anything. It's none of this, I need to log into Google or Ymail or whatever. It's just there. Which, it's interesting because as I've been talking to people about the leasing to buy email, they seem to be scratching their heads on, well, how do you have it on your computer? I'm like, it's just there. I don't have to log into anything. Uh, and I don't know for people that use Microsoft if they've gotten away. I say away. If they've ventured away from Outlook or Outlook Express, I don't know. But with with Outlook or Outlook Express or Mac Mail, you set it up in your mail just like you would with any other email address. Like if you had an SBC Global or a att.net, whatever, you just set it up, which I'll show you here in just a second. Anyway, the point was I want to show you. Look, I never go to mail.leasingtobuy.com. Let me go back here. Anyway, so I never go to mail.leasingtobuy.com. That's the webmail where you can log in and check your mail and reply and do whatever. But I never go there. I mean, I have before, but it's very, very rare. Like if I'm traveling and just can't get access something to the server, I've got to go directly to the server. I go to mail.leasingtobuy.com. So again, Kathy's already sent you all your email address, your password, and I misspelled now. Anyway, you're now logged into the webmail portal. Again, forget about all that. I don't use that. If you go to Outlook or Mac Mail, you can create this by going to Mail, then Accounts, then Add an account. Which I'll put this. I'll tell you what. I'll put this on the back of Leasing to Buy to show y'all. I mean this PDF. Description, Leasing to Buy, or whatever you want to call it. Email address, whatever your email address is. I just made up one. Tom@leasingtobuy.com or whatever your email address is. Incoming mail server, mail.leasingtobuy.com. Username, again, Tom@leasing, whatever your email address is. Password, whatever the password is that Kathy sent you. Outgoing mail server, mail.leasingtobuy.com. If asked, do not select secured socket layer where it's got to go through more security. So do not select that. For the port numbers, incoming 110, outgoing 25. So again, I've got it all set up on my computer and phone, iPad, everything. So I don't have to log in. I can hit boom, email, and there it is. I don't have to log into anything. So let me show you here real quickly. So if I wanted to, which I didn't, maybe I should have made up a email address, but if I go to Preferences and I want to add, let's assume. Oh, John's got, let's assume, I'm part of Leasing to Buy now, and my name's, Tom at Leasing to Buy. I don't know. I put Tom at Leasing to Buy here. Whatever the email address is Kathy sent me, the password, whatever the password is that Kathy sent me, put it right there, continue, and you just go on down the road. You continue, you enter the information, continue, and you set it up. It's actually very simple. However, I will say this. When I was in Florida for about 10 days this summer, and had my Mac Air, my little MacBook Air. I was in Florida setting up my email account, john@leasingtobuy.com, setting it up on the Mac Air. And on our beach house, and I will say this: it took about it took about 3 or so times before it connected, if that makes sense. And I've noticed that with technology, it's like you can have everything perfect, and you go, okay, now execute, and it just doesn't get it. And so you do it again. Okay, now execute. Oh, don't get it. And it's like it takes 3 or 4 times before it goes, oh, okay, now I'm connected. I know what you're doing now. So I've seen it myself on emails, where if you're setting up an email address with, say, Leasing to Buy on your iPad or your Mac Air or whatever, your Mac, whatever, phone, whatever, it may be that you've got to do it a few times before it like connects. So that's nothing we can do about that. That's just the world of technology. So anyway, I will post this tomorrow on the back of Leasing to Buy, so you can see how to do that. But there was also a very good video on the back of Leasing to Buy called How to Set Up Your Mac Mail, and that's very good as well. I think I set up a bogus account, but I show you how I actually do it on my computer. So let's go. Let me go through here just 1 second. Yeah, Mark, on the domain address for webmail, let me go through here. If for some reason you decide to go to webmail, which again, Mark, I almost never go to, almost never. I have before when I've been traveling. If you go to webmail, I'm sorry. You go to mail.leasingtobuy.com. Then you enter your email address and password that Kathy sent you, okay? But again, Mark, let me ask you, Mark, are you using Mac or PC? No. Mark, are you using a Mac or a PC? Boy, this lighting in here is horrible with this camera. I've got a very high-end, high-def camera, and next time I'll look a lot better. Oh, I guess I can't. Okay, PC. Let me ask you, Lauren, are you using Outlook? For your email, are you using Outlook or Outlook Express? Man, what is going on here? Lauren can hear me. Did I just cut myself off? Lauren, are you all using Lauren, are you using Outlook Express or Outlook? And this is for your typical email. And let me because if you're using, and again, this goes back to this. A lot of people don't use. A lot of people, like Matt. I know Matt, you had some issues, some major issues with the webmail and Matt Huber. I mean, but again, I never use the webmail. I've just got it set up on my computer and my phone, iPod, iPad, etc. So I never use I almost never go to mail.leasingtobuy.com. Because you know why, Matt? Because when I go to mail.leasingtobuy.com and try to utilize that, you're exactly right. It doesn't function well. It shows HTML on the replies. I don't like it. But everything I do is through MacMail. So I never go to the mail server. I shouldn't say never, but almost never. Man, I'm sorry, my camera looks horrible. I've got this beautiful high-end, high-def camera, and it's not connecting tonight. But I figure when you're as good-looking as I am, what does it matter? Let me see here. Anyway, we won't come back to that. I don't want to spend an hour on the whole email thing, but I just want to make sure that you all have everything set up that you all need to be on the email. But again, once you get it set up on your computer, because here's the thing, I figure most people are using a smartphone now, whether it's an iPhone or whatever the case may be, and you can set up your leasing to buy email on that, just like you would say at sbcglobal.net account or at ATT or whatever. So again, I've got it set up on my phone so that, okay, what happened to Mark? So I've got it set up on my phone where again, I'm sorry about the video camera tonight, but I've got it set up on my phone where I just hit a button right there. Right there. Oh. And there's my email. So I don't have to log in or anything. Anyway, so again, enough of that. I don't want to get bogged down on the email. Obviously, if you all have questions, contact Kathy at support at Leasing to Buy, or let me know, and I can help you out on that. All right, let's go through the real quickly here. And again, I feel horrible that last week was such a disaster with our technology and the what we had set up. Let's go through the mail-out video. There's only a few of us here tonight. Did everybody receive the mail-out video link that I emailed to you? Is it like about an hour-long video of emails? If you did not receive it, let me know. I think I should have sent to everybody. I tried to send to everybody. I had a password in there. It was about an hour-long video. Perfect. Thank you, Matt. Lauren and Mark Tway. I hope I'm saying your name right. I know you and I talked about in the car how to say your name, but Lauren and Mark, did you all see that the video link I sent you? Tway, did you see the video link I sent you on the mail-out video? Hopefully they can hear me. Okay, perfect. Okay. Tway, I don't know if you can hear me or not. Did you get... Oh, we just lost Lauren. What happened to Lauren? She got tired of me, Mark. There she is. Nah, she's not tired of me anymore. All right, well, good. Yeah, I sent an email, Tway. If you didn't get it, I sent that last week. I believe I'm going to guess Monday, because we had a webinar on Wednesday. I think it was last week I sent that. If you didn't get it, Tway, let me know. Please let me know if you didn't get it. Shoot me an email, John at leasingtobuy.com. I'll put it up here. If you did not get it, Tway, let me know. Just shoot me an email. I'll send it back to you again. And I'll send you the password and all that. I just put a mail out together today, as a matter of fact. Just did a mail out today of, I think it was a total of 1,300 pieces. So put that together today. So that's going out tomorrow. Put that together, and I'm going to hit it. I'm hitting the same list again with my new brochures. The list that's going out today, this week, is with older brochures. I'm hitting the same list next week. 9th. End of next week or so, in about 7 to 10 days, with the new brochure, which I don't, I updated the new, the brochure, put in the back of the website. I don't mean that the new brochure is, end all be all, but, I always like to be tweaking and adjusting things. Anyway, that's going out end of next week to the same list. I think it was about 1,300 pieces. So we'll see how that goes. Let me see here. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much, Matt. It looks like Thway got it. So, yeah, how to prepare a mail-out video. That's about as in-depth as you can get on the mail-out on how to prepare it, how to get ready. The only difference is that on the brochure, if you use a trifold brochure, you want to use 2 tabs instead of 1, which I think I talked about a little bit last week. But you want to use 2 tabs. Let's see here. Okay, this one doesn't have any. So in the mail-out video that you all have access to, you're going to see where I think in the video I put 1 tab right there. With the new guidelines, you have to put 2 tabs. One, whatever, here, 1 there. Not a big deal, but just, you want to be aware of that, okay? But that mail-out video is very, I think, very in-depth. It goes into far more depth than I do in my typical web-based class, just because, I just can't go into that detail in the web-based class. So definitely, if you haven't watched it, watch it. It has a lot of good information on there. Someone had asked about, I don't think it was you, Matt. Somebody, was it Mark? No. Maybe it was Mark. Mark, maybe it was you. I get a lot of emails, and I try to answer all the emails. Somebody had asked about, just a second. There's Phil. I'm sorry, guys. I just want to make sure I answer all the questions. Okay. It's Phil, who's not online tonight. By the way, let's make fun of Phil since he's not here. Phil was asking about which form to fill out for the U.S. Postal Service. It's a USPS 3602 EZ. Okay. I believe I show that on the video. Filled one out today. I've got it on my desktop. Yeah, USPS 30. It's the 3602 EZ. Yeah, 3602Z. Let me show you what it looks like because it's so fascinating. That was sarcasm. Let me go in here. Let me see if I can stop sharing. Share my screen. Desktop. 3602. Here's a 3602 EZ. Now here, and again, you'll see that I've used Adobe Acrobat to pre-fill certain fields. I created fields, not a big deal, but I created fields. Here's my number, company name, address. By the way, here's my address if you want to send me a birthday card in November. In case you want to send a birthday card in November. 45. Holla! Thank you, Mark. Mark's going to send me a birthday card. All right, so I send post. So there's certain things I've got field forms for. Post Office of Mailing, Grapevine, permit number 464. That's my permit number. Permit imprint. I think on the video I may have shown metered. They've changed a couple of little things. Permit imprint, because you're going to see a permit imprint right there. Something they changed on this that I think they changed since the video was this. Under mailing, they added this field. They added this field. for what we're doing, for what I do. Uh, Alternative address format. Okay, you see I've got that one marked. Hopefully you can see it. Um, I think I used to be alternative method. Then they added this field, and that's where I fell into. So again, not a big deal. And you know what? I was at the post office today, and I said, "Do you all have classes?" And they said, "Yeah, it's once a month at the main postage place here in Fort Worth, which is not where I go to." Anyway, name of mailer, phone number, and then that's it. This is all stuff you fill out at the post office. So that's it. So it's a PS 3602EZ. You can download it and use your. And the reason it's an EZ, you're using 3602EZ because it's not automated. Because, well, there's another label on it. Because we're not using barcode. Okay. So anyway, there you go. So 3602EZ. All right. Let me see here. So there you go. Let me see if it's printing. I'm sorry, guys. So it's printing here. Put that there. I'm going to run through, even though Phil is not here tonight, he was asking, okay, we just covered that. Are we mailing brochures first class or standard mail? Everything I send out is I guess, is first class. And, I'm planning on using, okay, did that. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to hit these questions here. In Houston, my area post office told me that the bulk mail permits have to come from the main Houston post office. And he was saying, I believe he was saying, yeah, he went to the post office Friday, was told to go downtown. Okay, so what you may have to do is you want to find out who does the bulk mail in your area. The way it's set up in Fort Worth, just to give you an idea, is I live on kind of the northeastern side of Fort Worth. So here's downtown. Here's downtown. Okay, I'm looking at the camera backwards. I'm on the northeast side. Okay, over here. There's a substation right over here in Grapevine. Now I could go downtown and save like half a cent per piece, but it's a pain in the rear. You've got to have an appointment and all this and that. I've done it before. Just forget it. I'd rather pay a half a cent or whatever per piece to drive 15 minutes to Grapevine to just drop them off where I know everybody and it's so easy. Don't need an appointment. It's laid back. So Houston, I would think, and maybe I'm wrong here, I would think that Houston would have their main bulk mail processing center, which apparently is downtown, and then also have some satellite bulk mail processing. And maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe we're fortunate that we happen to have one that's close to me. But I would think that Houston would have a satellite bulk mail where, okay, maybe you pay a half a cent extra, but it's so worth your time. So, but anyway, so you want to look into that. Let me see here. Let me go back to the questions here. I wouldn't be over concerned with that, Mark. It's just like doing wholesaling. If you're sending off yellow letters or whatever, you're just hitting target areas. So let me see, downtown office. Oh, thank you, Matt. Thank you. Yeah, here, Matt. I think they close at 2. I think it used to be 3. Now it's 2. They've changed their times, but yeah, good point on that, Matt. Is that you've got to arrive before they close, and they close kind of early. Here, I think it's 2, if I remember correctly. Let me go through some of these questions that Phil had. He was asking about regarding the brochures. he was confused about whether he can use leasingtobuy.com on them or not, and this and that. On your brochures, you can use leasingtobuy.com. You want to direct people to our website. What you can't use is you just can't use our logo, okay? You can't, just a second, by the office to open new accounts. Okay, thank you. Very good information, Matt, very good. What you can't do is you can't use a Leasing to Buy logo, okay? But you want to direct people to leasingtobuy.com if you want. And that was all his questions, I believe. So we got those taken care of. Let me do this. Let me run through quickly. It's 8:37. Let me run through the step-by-step. I think, Mark, you had wanted this kind of a step-by-step guideline, as I remember, so I put one together that hopefully will help you all. And let me see if I've got it on my screen here. It's the doc form. Okay, I'll pull that up just 1 second. Now I don't want you all to get and let me see if I can actually enlarge in this. Now I don't want you all to get overly involved or overly concerned about steps, on learning all this. This is a pretty good, just step-by-step, basic step-by-step to the lease options. What you want to do is, again, the main thing is once you've got your DBA, your company name, is you wanted to get Hergo or whomever to design a logo, which don't get me wrong. If you don't have a logo, it's not like, well, I can't make any money. But again, it costs you like $20. Get things in place. It's very easy to do. So let's talk about marketing. Marketing to sellers, direct mail, which we've just been talking about. Excuse me. Go to the post office, get your bulk mail permit. Then get your brochure or postcards developed. For postcards, you can go to Hergo to design them. On the brochures that I use, that you will have access to, those are a doc, or you have the doc version. It's a Word version, and you can go in and tweak them however you want. On the postcards, those are developed utilizing like Adobe Illustrator and stuff that I don't have access to, so I get them in a PDF form. So I've got to go to a designer like Hergo or somebody, say, hey, can you move this here, take this off there, whatever, because that's what they do. On the brochures, it's just you've got access to the doc version. You can go and wipe everything out and put whatever you want to in there. And make sure your brochure, postcards, designs have your bulk mail permit in the upper right. Okay, again, just like this. Okay, and go to overnightprints.com and order. I just got 5,000 of my new brochures in. Got 5,000 of them in. We are now utilizing those for our next mail out here in about a week. And then in about 3 weeks, I'm going to be getting a new list and expanding and hitting it heavy. Contact Gene Mahia to develop your list for your target area. Again, you say, okay, I want to hit these zip codes or that zip code, whatever. Contact Gene, which sends you the list. Print out on the Avery 5160 labels. It's just just the Avery 5160, just these little labels you get at Staples, okay? Just like that. 30 to a sheet. And prepare the mail out. Drop off at the bulk mail processing center. So today I dropped off a bulk mail delivery. I had 3 trays. 2 were for, I know this doesn't make sense to you all, but 2 of them were for 760. 1 was for mixed. AADC, and it's just you get to the point where it's very easy. So I've got it down to just where it's a real easy process for me. They weighed them. I said, here's how many I've got. Here's my count. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Okay, great. Then I double check and then I fill in the forms. It's very easy. Again, please watch that mail out video. People pay me $100 for that. It's to me, it's worth a lot more than that. So if you haven't watched it, please watch that mail out video because it's a huge help. Because I really go into a lot of detail on that. Not because it's difficult, but because it's something new and you're just not familiar with it. And I know it took me a while to figure it out. So please watch that. Bandit signs. Scroll down. You can go to Coroplast.com. Find the closest distributor of Coroplast signs. I picked up 200. I picked up 200 Coroplast signs 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I think it was. And they're blank. And I've got some that's writing "We Buy Houses" on them. And they're put them up on telephone poles and on little signs, little stakes. That's really more for the wholesale, but the point is this: you will get the phone ringing. You'll get some lead generation off this, and that you can say, well, they don't fit the, it's a crappy house. Okay, great. Put it in the lease and put it in the wholesale side, and I can help you through that as well. Craigslist, scrape Craigslist, look for houses for sale. Send emails if you want. Cold call. I don't do a lot of Craigslist just because the response I've gotten has been pretty dismal and not crazy about it, but it's still there. It's an avenue. For sale by owner, landvoice.com. Sign up for the FSBO leads as well, through landvoice.com. This is all I want you to worry about right now is marketing the sellers. Don't worry about, well, now, how do I give them a receipt when they give me earnest money? Don't worry about that. Just market to those sellers, okay? Direct mail, bandit signs, Craigslist. And keep in mind, I never used bandit signs, but now that I'm doing more wholesaling, I'm saying, you know what? I'm getting some leads off these bandit signs. Something else. Let me scroll back here. I'm going to. Where am I here? Something I had lunch about 2 weeks ago with Dev Horn from WeBuyHouses.com, and they're set up on a zip code distributorship. But I haven't signed up for them, but I'm gonna throw out two potential lead generation resources for you all. Let me type it up here. Here's two very solid potential lead generation. Again, I have not used WeBuyHouses.com. But I had lunch with Dev Horn, who's their vice president of marketing, and I'm considering signing up for some of the zip codes they have. That's something I would look at. zbuyer.com. What happens, this is where it's again, lead generation website. And what happens is people fill out something for, I want to sell my house fast or whatever on some lead generation website that's owned by ZBuyer, and they just throw out the leads. What I've done is I've just signed up a week and a half ago, and I've gotten a number of leads that I've emailed back, and got some response back and forth. Tomorrow, I've got about 15 or 20 phone calls to make to these people to follow up with them and say, hey, do you want to sell this house or not? What's going on here? But I can offer them either the wholesale or the lease option. What I'm finding through ZBuyer is I've seen a couple of deals come through that were wholesale deals, which is what most people use ZBuyer for. But most of the leads are people that want full price. Well, that's what a lease purchase comes in. You can get into full price. Is what happens. So then you get this lead generation sheet. You print that off. ZBuyer. I put emailed. I didn't put the date, but emailed. He's got all our information there, and I could tell by the price on this one. That was a cash offer. That was going to be a cash offer. I've got multiple lead generation pieces that are going to be lease option deals where I go, hey, I see your house on Main Street is it still for sale? If so, I think it looks like we can get you full price, full value with the lease purchase. Are you trying to get full price? If so, let me know. So I would go to zbuyer.com as well. Let me go back through some of these questions. I'm sorry. How effective is it to get? How effective is it to get potential clients from Craigslist? What did you do in this technique? With Craigslist, again, I don't do a lot of Craigslist stuff. Maybe these things are cyclical where you get a lot of great response, then it sucks, and you come back, 8 months later, okay, now it's great again, and it sucks. For Craigslist, what I found is, as far as scraping Craigslist and emailing homeowners or potential sellers, people that had their house for sale, is the responses I got back were basically all go F yourself, and your mother's a whore, and other highly intelligent ways of communicating like that. So I just kind of stopped doing Craigslist. And I had tried different emails I was sending out. I had a lady in India that was doing it, but she had specific emails she was sending out, this and that. On the other side, when I would list properties, I found that I would say 80% of the responses I got, I'll move it up. 90% of the response, if I listed a property on Craigslist, I would say 90% of the responses I got were, one, either somebody who is hiring somebody from India to ask me if I want to at least purchase the property, which, yeah, that's what I want to do, but it's just some other guy, somewhere else, in Iowa, that's paying somebody in India to send out random emails to any house, any listing. Do you want to lease purchase it? Blah blah blah. Or the response was, do you take Section 8? So I don't do a lot of stuff with Craigslist. Again, that's just been my experience. It may be that in 2 months, 3 months, that things change and suddenly, wow, I can really utilize Craigslist now. But this has been my response and experience, I should say. Matt, I believe, Matt, it was $35 a month Now, I don't know what they charge right now. That's been several months ago, but it's $35 a month. Um, and I used to use them and might even consider using them again. The reason I stopped wasn't because it was expensive or anything like that. It was that I was getting such a good response from the from just mailing out to listed houses. It just wasn't worth paying the. It wasn't $35. Just I was so focused on the listed houses, but I would certainly look to utilize them again. The only downside, the only downside to landvoice.com that I found was I did see where some of the leads that I was getting were old, like 2 months old, and the house has already been sold by the time I got the lead. Which that happens, you know. So, but for $35 a month, I think it's worth it to try it for 3 to 4 months, you know, and utilize that for lead generation. Um, Let me went through that. Um, that's actually kind of it for tonight. I feel so bad that last week we had the major technical glitch. I had to uninstall Flash, reinstall it, talk to 5 people over in Bangladesh. Anyway, got it going. Real quickly, just have a few people online tonight before I wrap this up. As you are getting things, just the initial things going, any other questions? Mark, you and Lauren, do you all have any initial questions um, as far as getting some things going? Tway, do you have any initial questions? I know, Matt, you've been really busting it, getting some of your key players in place, getting some of the foundation in place. But again, for starting off, I think you need to keep it very simple and just say, okay, I'm going to get the marketing going, and if you're going to do direct mail, get the bulk mail going, and keep things simple. I don't want you to overthink too many things. But any other questions before we sign up for tonight? And we're gonna have another webinar here in probably 3 weeks. I want to follow up with everybody. But all right, listen, guys. I've got to go. It's almost 9 o'clock. I'm gonna run here, but this is recorded, so I'm gonna put it on the back of Leasing Goodbye. It'll be on there tomorrow. Yeah, it should be on there tomorrow. So anyway, and again, I apologize that the camera. I used my low-end camera tonight. I don't know why it's not recognizing my high-end camera, but anyway. All right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna shut off the recording here, and this will be on the back of Leasing Goodbye tomorrow. All right, guys. All right. Oh wait.